here. There is that Witch Doctor, another hero that you brought up that certainly is decent against the Chen strat, and Winter Wyvern also similar idea. Wyvern's actually not bad here either too for dealing with Lifestealer as well. So
yeah, I do like Lifestealer just because, or I do like Wyvern because it also deals well with the Chen creeps. You don't get pressured in lane very hard. Gives you setup for Centaur to catch up. Setup for Willow to combo off of as well.
well, they're thinking about it. They spent a lot of time for their second pick and this third pick. We're already dipping out of 40 seconds of reserve time now for Black Sheep. So they're not going to have the most reserve time in the end. I mean, they have the overall final pick too.
Grimstroke.
Okay, they do go back for the Grimstroke. Mention that possibility there. Good synergy with Centaur, decent against Chen.
Yeah, nothing to really double up so far, which is a little interesting, but
true.
I mean, it's just a hero it's so good in the 5 role, provides so much lockdown and just control remaining. In general. That you're fine just picking it.
Spirit Breaker.
Yeah, I think they're going Spirit Breaker Darks here. Like, it really, because it's also a good pairing with a Lifestealer too, and it just makes sense. Those are 2 position and heroes that they still needed. So
yeah, and Black Sheep didn't ban the Oracle and didn't pick it, so the main counter. Although Chen does provide a little bit of counter, you can pick up the Purge creep, so it's definitely kind of annoying.
Well, they would have that themselves.
Oh wait, never mind.
Yeah,
sorry, spacing out.
They don't even need to worry about that. So you're right. I mean, I guess Oracle could be an option for Black Sheep, but then that means they have to be a core Dark Willow.
Yeah, I'm almost 100% sure that the Darkseer is coming out here for Kookaburra. Yeah. Can't imagine anything that would be better.
Now, there is the Razor option still for Black Sheep. We're talking about that. So they banned the Warlock instead, as well as the Slark.
Dire team pick.
So speaking of some solid counters, they go Death Prophet though. Instead, more of a tempo pick there. And the most not surprising pick of the tournament goes to Kookaburra with the Darkseer.
Moon Meander Darkseer. So Black Sheep's going to need a hero that can handle farming under tower.
10 seconds remaining.
I mean, we may very well just see like a Juggernaut coming out here.
5 seconds remaining.
Sustain doesn't care about the Ion Shell so much. Not the greatest against Spirit Breaker, but it is just a very stable carry hero. Benefits from Stampede as well.
A hero that's also still good against Lifestealer and could also get away with dealing with the Darkseer is Ursa? That'd be decent.
It would put them on a clock. They would definitely not have any late game, which is kind of an issue. But then again, the other team has Chen, so do you really care about that?
Yeah. And you already have a Death Prophet mid, so it's like you're already kind of setting up for that. I mean, that could work. Death Prophet certainly
10 seconds
would love to push objectives sooner than later, so it's not saying it's the obvious pick here, but it's definitely got to be something that at least Black Sheep would be thinking about.
Radiant team pick.
So they ban Anti-Mage, and then they snap pick Medusa, so just in case they were thinking about that. All right. Well, late game certainly looking good for Kookaburra right now. That's even more reason to go Ursa, in my opinion. I mean, it's why even try to compete with that? Medusa, Lifestealer late game.
Mason Weaver.
10 seconds remaining.
Every time I see that hero, that feels like one of those heroes that just never does good.
I'm almost 100% sure it's going to be a Mason Weaver.
It's something that he likes to play. They don't have a lot of time.
Oh, wow. Okay, Troll. Never mind.
Pretty often. Actually, Troll makes sense. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I mean, the Weaver would get destroyed by the Darkseer in lane. Most likely. You have to try lane, at least early on.
Troll Warlord makes a lot of sense. He's actually decent against Lifestealer. You can get Diffusal for Medusa. In the laning phase, he's decent against Darkseer. Yeah, no, that was actually a perfect pick.
Gives them some late game, gives them the ability to take Roche even easier. Likes to have these supports that hold people in place. Definitely like the pick. That being said, it is a melee core, melee quote-unquote core into a Medusa. And if you press R on Troll and then Medusa presses R, then Troll is just going to Stone Gaze himself. So I think I still favor the Kookaburra lineup. Just the Darkseer Spirit Breaker is such a good combo, and then you have the Chen as well, which you gave away. I'm going to favor them, at least in the initial game, I think. Rather, the only game.
the initial game
series.
of this one-game series, yes.
Exactly.
I've done that plenty myself. It's still it is almost. I was thinking about that earlier today, just like how I do kind of wish, like I love the format this year and that there's only one team from each region. Like that makes it a lot cooler because in the past years we've had like 2, even 3 teams moving on out of 8, and you're just like it doesn't really feel as great as epic, but having one team is really cool. With that said, I do wish the format was a little more drawn out. Like, they at least did 2-game series in the groups, if not best of 3s, and then into a playoffs. It just feels like with what's on the line and how the getting second place, you literally don't get anything, which is really unfortunate. That's a whole other topic. But I do wish the format was a little more drawn out. But anyways, it is not the case. It is a best of 1.
Bring back Swiss, man. That's all I want.
Right. We had the one. What was it? The Kiev Major. And then we never did it again for some reason. I still don't get that. Doesn't make sense. All right. Enough about that. Oh, let me make sure my overlay is good. Boom. We are good to go. Let's take a look at the odds as well. Actually, popping up on your screen, they do favor Kookaburra. Actually, decent. It's 2.55 to 1.45, it looks like. Or 1.48 there, but... I don't know. I see this as far as the players go especially and think, man, this could certainly go either way. I do agree on the lineup, though, as you were getting at, that, man, that Darkseer Spirit Breaker just being left there with the lifestealer already in hand. Now Medusa to help secure the late game. This seems like a lineup that's really strong. And, yeah, the Chen first pick to top it a lot. Yeah, really. This is a really good lineup.
Yep, definitely. I was going to ask, are you one of those people that scarfs in between games, or do you try and just power up before you start casting?
Dude, well, one of the reasons why I popped on, at the last minute is because I actually went to go grab some Chick-fil-A.
Nice.
Yeah, I figured I'm not at the BTS studio, but I kind of just improvise and act like I was because they served that a lot there. But the traffic was crazy, and it's like I left like 45 minutes before we were supposed to start, and it's like 10 minutes away from me. That somehow it almost took the full 45. But point is, I got back and I ate what I could, like as I was driving home even. But yeah, in between that first game, then I scarfed down the sandwich that I had. So I usually try to do it beforehand, but.
Gotcha. I'm definitely a snacker. I'll have like a quesadilla after game 1, get some cereal after game 2.
Keep the variety coming.
Yeah.
I get some nuts here, some pistachios once in a while. All right, we got Kookaburra. There you got 3 heroes at the bottom right now. They're looking to run aggressive with the Chen.
The battle begins.
Absolutely. Gonna secure the runes. Centaur will grab the top rune with his stun.
So
They're
Grimstorm
gonna cut the wave.
Yeah, Grimstorm's not matched up with the Centaur now either. I mean, that makes sense in that Boris is on Dark Willow and playing position 4, and they're gonna catch Chen. All right, the Maze catches Chen, and Troll Warlord Mason, he ends up getting the kill. Obviously, they knew exactly what KKB was trying to do here, and are they going to get another kill out of this? There's no Surge, of course. He's level 1. That's going to be a second kill, it looks like. Great body blocks from Boris to guarantee it. And now, are we really going to see a third? The Maze, oh, he does avoid it. It might not matter still. The stroke hits. Perfect hit. He is going to charge away, though, and gets away. Well, they're missing all the creeps, but you know what? They got 2 hero kills out of it.
Yeah, they did get 2 hero kills. I don't know if that second... I don't know about that second one.
Yeah.
Because they did miss an entire wave of creeps. And they allowed Darkseer to get in here. But it's an interesting way to combat that strategy, for sure.
Yeah, it does go both ways, though, as the Stork misses there, because Moomianer, the fact that he died right there, he used a chunk of his mana anyways. He just gets to come back in and farm a little bit of the CS as they're still making their way back. So, yeah, like, in hindsight, I do see what you're saying. It might not have been good for the second kill, but either way, we're now in the lane. And already some rotations with Chen making his way to the top lane now, so they're not committing to a trial lane after what happened. And help Lifestealer.
Gonna pick up that Frost attack Ghost and just start pinging away. That's 0.
And 0 could be in trouble. He's just going to go for the TP play, which means he will get out of here. In fact, he TPs to the tower. He pops a salve. So he's not going to go too far. But he's can only do that once in a while, of course. Double damage.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It's a bad feeling for Medusa. Just about to grab it, and Death Prophet's like, nope, not for you. If I can't have it, no one can.
Yeah, I am excited. Although these are not the flashiest of heroes, this is a really good matchup here in the mid lane. Both Annihilate and Bryle are somewhat rising stars in the NA region. They're both very talented mechanical mid players.
Both have had their own success in a way. No, Bryle, of course, had a stint there for a bit. With
this Centaur is dead.
Is he dead? Spearbreaker charging in, and yeah, when it connects, it should be. Knows how to dance. Figures he's dead anyways, but good rotation from the Spearbreaker. Makes the kill happen.
And that Ghost, just such an annoying creep to deal with.
What was I getting at though? Bryle, he played for J-Storm, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. He was on J-Storm for a good amount of the season.
Most of the season, I believe.
And then they made the last-minute change, and hey, right now they're 4-1 in the groups. Is J-Storm. Of course, he just played his former team there. Previous matchup in that loss. So speaking of Bryle mid lane,
look at all the golems.
That's a lot of golems. That's a lot of rocks being thrown. Yeah, not much Death Prophet can do about that. Grimstark poured it in, but that Inkswell is just too late. Spearbreaker could be in some trouble. No, he makes his way out. Good job taking the aggro from Chen. Yeah, seeing all those golems. A lot of stuns to happen.
Yeah, the split mini golems and then another Papa golem. It's just way too much damage and stun.
Illusion.
Mid matchup, 16-7 Death Prophet, 13-5 Medusa. So despite that death, Death Prophet still remains the slight advantage early on in this game. Something we talked about earlier with the Grimstroke pick, the lack of soulbind they had initially, they don't really answer that with their final 2 picks. I mean, Death Prophet, I suppose, kinda. The Siphon, but it's not necessarily something you're looking to soulbind with.
Yeah, probably not. But like I said, the heroes, you know, he's good enough just in the basic mechanics of each of his skills to be worth picking here. The silence can definitely be a problem for Lifestealer if they are able to chain stun on top of that.
5-minute bounty runes coming. And right now, it's Kookaburra is setting up to get 3 of them. Looks like they are. They make sure to make it a 3-for-1, so good advantage for the Dire team as they take a slight 1,000 net worth lead. But Mason on that Troll Warlord certainly getting the farm he's looking for. He's 31-15 right now. I guess Lifestealer's also doing really good. Ritsu at 29-24. So that many more denies, despite lacking the amount of creep kills compared. But yeah, both are doing very well is where we're ultimately getting at.
Yeah, both in great matchups. So you would expect these carry players to be efficient with their farm.
Radiant's bottom tower
And that
is
definitely
under
does
attack.
favor the Troll, as he is better against the Lifestealer in the long run, you would think.
Yeah, but it is a team game, and you look at the overall picture as, speaking of that, mid lane Annihilate puts a Siphon up, hoping to survive. He's got some bottle charges, also has support coming in, and now Spearbreaker might be too committed, or is he? He's got another charge in a couple of seconds, going to throw it a pause shortly after it. But my point I was just about to make, you look at both Darkseer and Medusa. They are slightly winning, Medusa's case slightly winning the matchup. Even Darkseer, though, despite Troll Warlord getting great farm, Darkseer, of course, is in typical fashion, is also farming pretty well. I guess he's been jungling a little bit now that I look at it, but still, he's level 5. And safe to say the overall laning phase going slightly better for the Dire team right now.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, level 5 to level 3, the offlane is definitely a big difference here. And It's just really difficult to shut down a Darkseer.
Not many heroes can accomplish that. I mentioned the idea of things like the Oracle, of course.
Basically Oracle, yeah.
Or maybe Chen with that Purge creep, but other than that... Oh, Enchantress. Enchantress, actually, is pretty good. Who picks Enchantress, though, am I right?
Hey, I saw it picked yesterday.
Actually, no, in the finals for CIS, it was picked a couple times, so... A little bit of a joke there. She is amazing. Centaur got the bash proc. First hit bash after the charge in. It's Spear Breaker, and he takes over the Hellbird Smasher, throws out the stomp. Well played by Kitrak on the Chen. Good micro, and ultimately the easy kill in the end on Centaur Warrunner.
Yeah, he's been super active on this Chen, and that's what you get when you have two very self-sufficient heroes in the Darkseer and the Lifestealer as your side lane cores. It's allowing this... I really like this lineup from Kookaburra just because they have two super active supports who don't want to sit in lane, and they don't have to.
No. Well, the cores just do their thing. Look at that surge of Spear Breaker. Seen that once or twice before. Jets him forward, but Mason, pop the Whirling Axes, just runs away. He's fine, of course. He does have his Battle Trance at level 6. So if it calls for it mid lane, what's going on there? They're diving the tower. Bryle, he's behind the maze. He gets around it. Meanwhile, Bloody9 trying to live against Ritsu, who's beating him down with the Rage active, and not much more he can do at that point. So they committed for the kill on Medusa, and it ends up backfiring as they lose the one support.
Yeah, Ritsu with a nice TP in there. He gets a turn kill after already taking the tower top. He's off to a really good start here. Going to have a super fast Midas.
And speaking of that top lane, Zero trying to cut through the trees. Hellbird Smasher, I believe he missed the stomp. So makes his way out of there. The Thunderclap. You talked about the tier 1 tower kill already happening. The Midas just around the corner now for Lifestealer. As expected to get in the free farm. But glance back at Troll Warlord. He's got his double Wraith Band, the full phase boots. We'll see what direction Mason thinks is necessary this time around with his build. Does he go maybe the really greedy route even? Of something like a Battlefield, or would it be a Diffusal game here, actually?
For the Troll, I mean, it definitely seems like a pretty good Diffusal game. I think people are really starting to go away from the Battle Fury in general, basically on every hero.
Yeah.
And, the Diffusal Maelstrom looked really good at Epicenter when people were building that.
Makes a lot of sense considering the matchup. As right now, again, he's just got an empty lane to deal with. So it feels good for safe laner. Spearbreaker and Chen currently around the top side. So Chen's going to wait for creep reset. He actually will take over the Wildering Ripper, and that's unfortunate. There's actually a Centaur creep right behind him and chose not to wait. But he'll be able to pick it up in a couple seconds anyways. Not a big deal. Not the most action. Bound to happen at this point, though. You take a look at the net worth, and kind of as expected. But biggest thing that's standing out to me is that Centaur being way down there. He's barely 2,000 net worth right now. He is not going to have that high of an impact at this point in the game.
Yeah, I Annihilate also got shut down fairly heavily in the mid lane. He's suffering quite a bit on this DP, who wants to be a tempo hero if possible. But Bounty Rune spawning should be a... looks like an uncontested 2 for 2, actually. A little surprising there.
Well, Dark's here. He's checking it out. Spearbreaker charges it, puts a wall down, actually. They want to fight this. In fact, Spearbreaker will pick up the Bounty Rune. He is going to die. I mean, even an Exorcism committed for this. So, considering he got the Bounty Rune, I think that's still a victory for Kookaburra. We're not done just yet, though. Death Prophet is going to keep some pressure as Life Stealer showed up. But, yeah, Bounty Runes did go 3 for 1. Favored the entire team.
Yep, and Exorcism expended. Nowhere near tower. They don't have the creeps anywhere close, so it's going to be the sort of zoning Exorcism. And Annihilate actually needs to be kind of careful here. He's pretty low on mana.
Ritsu getting charged in with the Surge, just using his Infest to kill the Siege creep quickly. Spearbreaker charges in, but no, will cancel. Boris happens to be nearby, whether they know that or not. He is going to hit level 4 as well in the meantime, but KKB is thinking about committing towards a push, but now Boris shows himself. Off Shadow Realm, Spearbreaker to the left will charge on to Bloody9. say what's up to him. His Lifestealer, oh, he's talking about diving. He's going deep onto Boris. Wants this kill. The Iron Shell active, of course, but Boris juking with the maze, and he makes his way out of there. Another charge over to the left as Grimstork gets hit once again, but Spearbreaker just too deep, not doing enough damage, and Mason will start to beat him down. Gets the net that he's looking for, and Bloody Nine will get the kill. Up here, I Annihilate in no man's land completely.
9 heroes down here.
There is, actually. The only one not here is the Centaur, funny enough. He did pop his Stampede earlier. But finally, that's going to be the end of it. So despite 9 of the 10 heroes showing up, only 1 hero dies. That's a Spearbreaker.
Yeah, it's definitely a win for Black Sheep because Bryle rotated out of the triangle to come try and help his teammates. And Centaur was able to spend plenty of me time in the top lane. He's almost caught up completely to Darkseer.
It's an expensive courier right now, but the Troll Warlord is going to be going the Maelstrom early on, as you talked about, as the Mithril Hammer's delivered. The Centaur, though, while the action was happening down there, it's net worth stepping up a bit, and he is level 8.5 now, so 0. Certainly trying to be able to have that impact that they're hoping for, and sitting on about 1,700 gold, so looks like he may be just trying to get a Blink Dagger as soon as possible. Some strong initiation to work with.
Armlet going to be picked up for Ritsu, so he's stopping off for a more early fighting mid-game item. Probably will go Radiance right after that, but wants the armor against the likes of the Death Prophet and the Troll. Makes a lot of sense there.
Yeah, a little more of an old school. Well, it's one that, yeah, definitely hasn't been the main build as of late. Of course, this is more in the idea of you want to go for these Infest bombs, where for a long time here we've been seeing the whole Midas Radiance, and then eventually he becomes an evolved Lifestealer play. But with the pace of the game right now, I suppose it does make a bit of sense.
Yeah, you also have the Medusa secure late game, so you don't have to play like super hard farming Lifestealer if you don't need to necessarily.
True.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Easy tower kill, so that Armlet's just around the corner.
I actually wonder, he may end up going for like Death Zone, just trying to burst the Death Prophet at the beginning of every fight. It's definitely one way to deal with her. Let the Medusa carry everything.
Yeah, I going the Armlet already. That absolutely would make sense. And again, more to your point of they have Medusa for the late game, and they could use building hitting, because right now that is something that they're not great at. And a Desolator certainly would help. Mid lane, by the way, they're trying to stampede in. Speaking of that Blink Dagger, picks it up. Medusa jumped, but she popped Stone Gaze. And they have to fall back initially, but or will she be fine? The support's coming in. Chen trying to run there. Brock gets the hand of God to heal up. The Siphon's up as well for Death. Brock Inkswell on top with the Soulbind. Sawing them tethering together, and Medusa does eventually fall. Kitrock's also going to go down. A double kill for Annihilate. It looked close there for a getaway, but Medusa simply could not sneak on out in the end.
Yeah, full 5 heroes in the mid lane, though, for a good minute, which allows Kookaburra to really push in those side lanes, get a bunch of farm.
It's crazy to see a team lose a fight like that. You still have a 3,000 net worth lead this early on. The Grimstork gets found by Spearbreaker and Lifestealer. But, I mean, the overall pace, again, still feels pretty good for Kookaburra, despite how that fight looked. And
yeah, I mean, like I said, they were farming that whole time. So a couple of kills are not that big of a deal.
Yeah, they being the Darkseer especially. He's even catching up to the Death Prophet, and he's got comfortable farm. He's going to be porting to the bottom lane with the rest of the team. So I'm wondering if they're going to try for maybe a smoke play. There's a smoke on Chen. Currently in the Radiant jungle, though. Lifestealer does have the Deso queued up, by the way, so looks like you're right on that direction.
Yep, makes a lot of sense. They do want somebody to deal with the Death Prophet, and since he's kind of behind where he'd like to be right now, a Deso Lifestealer is going to make Death Prophet's life miserable.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Also a lot more potential to do Roshan. You get that Desolator.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Chen is going to block the Ancient spawn over here. Actually, does that block it, or is that just Vision? I think that's just Vision. Yeah, it's actually out of the box. So it doesn't want to give away. Oh, actually, nothing spawned. He just tried to stack it, and I think he was out of there. Huh.
It looks like it's outside of the box completely, but who knows?
I think it might be blocking despite what the box says, because, yeah, what we just saw right there leads me to believe that's the case. Either way, there's vision of that area. As Spiritbreaker is working on a Spirit Vessel. That's pretty good this game for a couple of heroes. Hell, both the cores it's actually pretty good against. Meander trying to get away. Hannah got help in the wall, the vacuum in, and they have supporting cast coming as well. Although the Soulbind, as soon as Spiritbreaker showed up, that did not help. So a double kill for Mason. And yeah, to that point too, we were mentioning about the Soulbind, the lacking of the synergy earlier. Soulbind in itself is still like a decent ability despite that. Both the slow and the fact that it tethers them together so they can't get away necessarily. So yeah, it's just overall a really strong ability.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the hero's good enough to pick on its own. The double doom or fatal bombs or whatever is what makes it truly broken.
Man, I still can't get over though, Elevated, how every time I look at that net worth, it just grows for Kookaburra. They're up 5,000 now, despite losing a couple more heroes at that top lane.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Black Sheep has just been spending the last 5 minutes or so almost completely together as 5. So it's just allowing Kookaburra to just farm almost the entire rest of the map. And they have super split up. You know, even Kitrax farming on his own in the jungle. You've got Ritsu farming the lane, using the Midas off cooldown. And I think it's a little bit worrying for Black Sheep. Like, they're just not taking towers fast enough. You know, if they had the tier 2s down, I think they would feel a lot better. But it's not like they have the advantage in towers even.
Yeah, they only have 2 tower kills, and for how much action, having a Death Prophet, it does seem a little underwhelming, considering they're going up against these 3 cores that ideally were a bit more greedier cores. I mean, Lifestealer's building a bit more aggressive, as we mentioned, but still, point still stands. As Spiritbreaker, he's juking around with that surge. Of course, easy for him to do. And now he's going to charge elsewhere. He's going to charge all the way to the mid lane, just to get out of here. So you got the 3 heroes up here for Black Sheep, trying to find something. Can't find that something. And instead, despite all that distraction, you have the cores continuing to farm. Medusa pushing out middle. She's level 15, the first one of the game. And then Lifestealer, 3,300 gold saved up. So Ritsu pretty much right-click that Desolator, or maybe he is going to have a change of heart. We'll see.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, I would find it hard to believe that he wouldn't go Deso at this point. Yeah, he picks up the double Mithril Hammers, does commit to it. That's the correct choice. I was noticing that Mason just finished a full Mjolnir before going for anything else, so he has BKB queued up next. Possibly we'll think about the defusal later on, but wants the farming tool followed by the survivability tool.
That is an interesting choice, but because if anything, I just love the idea of the defusal, but maybe at this point in the game, yeah, Medusa isn't necessarily the biggest threat, and they don't need to worry about burning through that mana shield just yet. So the later on defusal, I suppose, is fine too. But yeah, full Mjolnir. And working on that BKB as mentioned.
King RD almost has a Spirit Vessel, which will definitely shut down the Troll and the Death Prophet. As if the Death Prophet needed to be shut down anymore than he is already.
Yeah, goes back to Annihilate. Has not had the greatest game. I mean, it's not been horrible either. 20-minute mark hits, and the bounty rune's picked up by KKB. Chen is caught getting this one, and will die for it.
4 runes, though, going the way of Kookaburra.
It's, yeah, this is a perfect example of a game that there's so much more to a game than just hero kills.
Oh, yeah. They know their timing. They know that they can't lose with this Medusa in the late game, and so they are perfectly content to just go to about 30 minutes or so, 35 minutes, and then at that point, there's not a whole lot that Black Sheep can do to fight them. The pace continues this way.
So Lifestealer infests inside Darkseer. They port to the bottom. Spiritbreaker's charging with a surge. And here we go, baby. The vacuum. No, not even necessary. Another strike push back at the wall. He runs on through. Troll Worlder gets away. Bloody 9 is going to be the victim. That's actually good news for Black Sheep. That could have been so much worse, especially with Troll getting picked up. But we might not even be done. Welcome to Spiritbreaker Darkseer. That is a good lift, though, with the Yule. Silence coming out. And the buyback from Grimstroke. means it is going to be back to a 5 versus 5. Ritsu, now it's his turn to charge, and he pops Rage. He doesn't even care about the Shrine. He just tears up Bloody 9. And that's a dieback, by the way, on Grimstroke. And also, Dark Willow, she might be caught now. Bramble Maze going to save initially. He'll just run over those freaking thorns.
Oh, thank God.
And they can't get through, so Dark Willow does escape for now.
Yeah, I did say 30, 35 minutes, but this could definitely be a much earlier timing for Kookaburra if they are able to continue to take fights like this. It doesn't really feel like Black Sheep have enough damage right now to take a fight, and their disengage and catch is pretty limited right now.
Lifestealer sees Annihilate farming the Ancients nearby, catches up, open wounds applied. Bramble Maze trying to protect Annihilate. He has Exorcism. He's going to be backing back in, not using it just yet. The Rolling Axe is helping as well, and Annihilate does get away. Mason, though, he has to run, lacking the mana currently at half-life. Dark Willow can only run so far. Ritsu is on a mega kill streak now, and KKB, they just want to keep forcing it. They're just in the better spot right now. Which, again, you look at the lineups, and you would figure that this Radiant lineup would be the one that'd be all about controlling the tempo earlier on, but it's just not the case right now.
No, it's the power of Chen, Spearbreaker, and these self-sufficient lanes. They were just able to get way more out of the laning stage, and they were utilizing big experience and gold advantage to their advantage right now. Really just controlling, keeping Black Sheep stuck in their base, only allowing them one lane to really farm in.
Mason, he's going to TP in mid because there's a fight breaker. He's sweeping in a bad spot, though. That's a very vulnerable spot. Meanwhile, Dark Willow's picked off again. And Troll, they actually aren't going to commit to him. Just runs away, and this is going to be a tier 2 tower. So it's also a case of Black Sheep, more so it seems indecisive of what they're truly trying to accomplish here. Kind of a mixture of kind of defending, but not really. They lost the one, and they do lose the tower in the end. So, I mean, just look how they're already being choked at their base, it almost feels like. And we're just now only 23 minutes into the game.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, Mason is very close to this BKB. There's a BKB still a ways away on Annihilate. So, unfortunately, they won't have this 2 BKB timing on their cores. Centaur just has a blink. No real defensive items either. Yeah, this game's looking pretty rough right now.
Spearbreaker just spamming the pings. Taking a look at the graphs right there, it's a very just smooth game right now for Kookaburra. And look at this tank in the smoke ink, pushes back in with another strike. The vacuum wall combo comes out, and Grimstroke picked up the bat. The Stampede not going to be activated from Black Sheep though, and Troll Warlord, he's in. He does have his Battle Trance still. Nice Terrorize from Dark Willow, pushing them back, and there is the Battle Trance from Mason. But with the, he's not healing up much. I thought he had the Spirit Vessel. Either way, he is going to smash down Medusa. He goes down though as a response. Ritsu did fall as well. So this fight actually, he actually gets away barely. The Ghost could not chase him down. So Annihilate in the midst of that too, doing plenty of damage with the Exorcism. I mean, they lost 4 heroes. It's hard to say that it's a victory for Black Sheep, but it was actually a win in that mini fight, I suppose.
They did kill both important cores on Kookaburra, and perhaps more importantly, they pushed them off of this high ground, which is what was trying to be dominated. Like they need to reclaim this high ground if they want to have a game. They can't just like Kookaburra sit there and keep them in their base. Gonna miss the ward though, so D ward. Unfortunate.
My thrift reward.
Those Milner procs were out of control.
Yeah, they must have been.
Almost single-handedly killed Lifestealer.
It seemed like that, yeah. Medusa especially just started to melt away, so I guess Diffusal isn't necessary at all. At least at this point, and she had the Eye of Scotty, I'm pretty sure, at the start of that fight. Yeah, I saw her buy the components. It might have been delivered. I'm not 100%, but either way, she does have it now, as we see. But again, some hope for Black Sheep in terms of being able to fight, but this is going to be a smoke play from the Dire team, as the Assault Kuros has also delivered a Lifestealer as they start this. So yet another tool, and Mason, he might be in trouble. There's a charge in. Ritsu gets the open wounds. Good Stampede to recover. And that'll be the end of the engagement for now. So Stampede, a good reaction to that.
Yeah, it obviously didn't work out, but that was actually a really cool play by Kookaburra because they charged across mid towards bottom lane, and then they smoked immediately behind that and then went to the close jungle instead of to the far jungle. So it was kind of like a fake out play with the charge.
Playing it smart, playing to win. Playing to get Roshan.
has fallen to the death.
And they got it. Aegis on Medusa. Life Stealer. Inside Spirit Breaker. Boris, though, he's got his own smoke. Trying to see if he can bait something out, or might just cut the creep wave now with a Bedlam. Oh.
And back to the high ground.
Yeah, I guess KKB is like, all right, we can't find them, let's just go for the towers. Let's make them come to us. It's a good strategy.
Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant's middle tower is
Medusa.
under attack.
Newly buffed Gen creeps doing a lot of work.
Yep, gonna be killed off there. That sets up the tier 3
Radiant's
tower
middle
kill, and
tower
Bryle
has fallen.
sitting comfortably in front, especially with that Aegis. Ritsu's gonna pop Rage and do some damage himself, get the Deso up. You do see way back here, Centaur did
Radiant's
cut the
middle
creep
barracks
wave.
are under attack.
So,
Has fallen.
Not really gonna matter though,
Radiant's middle barracks
because they already
has
got both
fallen.
the racks anyway, so valiant effort from Centaur, but it was just too late.
Yeah, and I don't know how they take this fight. They just don't really have the strongest initiation.
Well, Soulblind, they
Go
go.
for it, though.
Offensive Stampede.
Oh,
Silence
nice.
is up. On to multiple heroes. Medusa can't gaze, and they are going to catch the Dark Seer before he can do too much. Even at his wall cooldown still, but there's Medusa now with the Stone Gaze. That's Ionila in the face at the Siphon. Lifestealer infesting out, and Ionila gets shredded as soon as a beatdown happens from Lifestealer. Centaur jumps in with the Blink Dagger, gets a lockdown to Bryle with the Hoof Stomp. Bryle's getting very low, doing as much damage as he can, but remember, he has the Aegis anyways. Mason gets slow as well. The Battle Trans hoping to keep him alive, and they take out the Lifestealer, but now he needs to get out as mentioned. Bryle can't find him, so Mason escapes. Bloody Nine is going to be a victim. Another bit of a win, though, for Black Sheep as far as the big picture of that fight. They're going to save their top push, at least for now. It's Boris.
Yeah, I mean, it was a decent fight, but I don't know why they didn't just do that at the racks. They already lost the racks, and then they take the fight.
Dire's bottom tower is
I'm wondering if
under
maybe
attack.
Stampede was on cooldown still or something. Might have been the case. But either way, Boris is actually going to escape. Wow. Gets down to about 30 life.
Oh, it could have been in the Basher timing. He does have the Basher, and that did help him kill Lifestealer there.
Okay. Yeah, it has that now. Not on top of the BKB, but eventually Dark Willow is caught up too. Watching the whole time. They do make it happen. Troll Warlord, interesting choice at level 20. He actually goes the damage over the evasion in this game, and just wants to be able to put out as much damage as possible. He is a big part of it, of course, for this team. But evasion potentially would have been pretty good against the likes of a Lifestealer and Medusa.
Yeah, definitely. Although he's kind of in that spot where he basically just has to press R and hope for the best.
Radiant's bottom
And
shrine is under
I guess
attack.
damage is definitely more useful there since it's going to be at like 0 HP anyway the whole time.
Sure. Annihilate, trying to build a medallion. Eventual Solar Crest.
Any survivability
Radiant's bottom
desperately
shrine
needs
is
that.
under attack.
Gets focused by Ritsu every single time, who now is the AC as well, so minus 12 armor.
And this
when
is
you
a
attack somebody.
well, that's also good, but this is also good against the Troll Warlord. Is the Heaven's Halberd that it's almost finished on
Yeah.
Lifestealer.
Radiant's bottom
A
shrine
tool
is
that
under attack.
they will love to have. As Butterfly is also just picked up by Medusa, so she's continuing to build that inventory nicely. It's going to be a while before another Roshan happens. Still have 345 before even the possible spawn of one. And speaking of
Black Sheep is
evasion,
pumped up.
Lifestealer gets his.
They're not going to find anybody. Gets popped. They disengage, and Black Sheep still looking for some sort of opportunity to break their way back into this game. Because right now, it's just kind of back to status quo for Kookaburra. Farming more of the map. Feeling better about their late game.
I keep referencing these graphs. It's just a very solid lead once again for Kookaburra. It's been very steady. Not many humps at all. And the overall 95% to 5%,
Shrine is under attack.
according to the Dota Plus win chance.
Radiant's
According to
top
Gaben.
shrine has fallen.
Lord Gaben himself. All right, Kookaburra. They could just play it safe, wait for the next Roshan, but I think they have a timing now instead. Put the pressure, Mason. He's TPing back.
Radiant's top
Tower's just gone.
Yeah, by the time he's here, it's just already dead. So they're not going to go for more, just the easy tower kill them back. Play the patient game of wait to get somebody that overextends.
Yep, and they accomplished their job of bringing Mason back to the base, so he can't put any pressure. I mean, this tier 1 bottom is still up at 31 minutes because Black Sheep has just not been able to leave their base.
Yeah.
Back to the high ground, camping the ward. The most classic NA Dota strategy there is. This is like a fly masterpiece right here. He does this all the time.
Bring back the shrines. That's what we really need.
The 5 shrines in base.
That was ridiculous. Jesus. It's hard to think that that was even a thing. Yeah, that made it's sieging pretty difficult. It's Vanguard picked up by Darkseer, so he's going to go the whole Crimson card. He already has a pipe on top of the Guardian Greaves. Typical full-on utility build from a Darkseer. Feels good, man.
Mason shoving up the bottom wave. Kitrek trying to shove it back in with the creeps.
Yeah, we're charging him initially. See Chen using the Centaur Courser to scout him out, trying to find him.
Yeah, this is really smart. Generally, when you are in a commanding position like this, you want to just control 2 waves. Cut them both. And then with the Chen creeps, you're able to actually control 3 waves. So, pretty nice.
Yeah, he's pushing it in. Alpha Wolf leading the way. He needs one of those lightning creeps. Harpy. Zap down the creep wave. Come on, Chen. Step your game up.
Just get the purple satyr. Hadouken.
Yeah, Dark Willow down here as well. She's actually going to TP back, though. As you see, Chen is just aggroing the creep wave down here at the bottom. I love it. So it really is controlling all 3 lanes. And Roshan, 15 more seconds before the possible. We'll see how long of a spawn it is. Obviously, for Kookaburra's sake, they would love a very quick one. But either way...
Double damage.
Oh, true. Well, we'll see. Is it going to be a very fast one with the DD? Yeah, medium. It's about 1:12 now. So we'll see how patient they are, but there's no reason for them to be impatient because, again, Black Sheep, they're not able to get much. Occasionally, Mason gets out there, pushes out the lane a little bit, but as we've referred to and keep noticing, it's constantly addressed, and everyone else on the team is essentially getting nothing right now for Black Sheep.
So Bryle actually bought a bottle at the secret shop so he can bottle this double damage and have it for the right moment.
Smart. Ooh. Mason going the MKB, so he really does have that damage.
Yeah, he needs to. He needs to be able to kill this Medusa. It's really their only shot, is if he can man-fight the Medusa and the Lifestealer. That evasion talent, the Halberd as well. Medusa, of course, with the Butterfly. It's really the only option he has to bring his team back into this game.
Dark Willow hopeful that they left one of the bounty runes. Not the case. Bloody Nine. Suppose he was trying to do some counter warding, scout things out, gets caught. Death Prophet's fine. Does have a buyback on the Grimstroke, but okay, Roshan is up. And Spirit Breaker sees it. They ping it out. I think KKB is going to make their way over. Remember, they have that double damage rune. I wonder if she's just going to use it right here to do Roshan. Doesn't look like it.
Not necessary. She can use it with the Aegis going high ground. Seems even better. And that is going to be almost impossible for Black Sheep to fight into. You're going to have to find the perfect initiation. But I don't even know what that is.
There's Spirit Breaker, speaking of initiating. He's going to stop. Levels. Oh, Mason is the top level in the game. Goes back to just the constant solo split pushing that he's been doing.
There's a Vlad's picked up on the Chen. Pipe, Crimson Greaves, just pure sustain from Darkseer. Kimepa Shiva's next. Oh, nice. Nice Yules to dispel the double damage. That's actually a really big deal.
Yep, they take it off immediately. As Grimstoke, the Soulbind,
Lifestealer
Lifestealer is caught, or is he caught them, I suppose. Anyways, Troll Warlord, Battle Trance is going to be used, and there's a beatdown on the Lifestealer on top of the Terrorize, and Lifestealer does fall. The beatdown is real from Troll Warlord. Buyback, though, from Lifestealer. Spiritbreaker also buys back, and now Troll Warlord with the Spirit Vessel having to run. He is going to be charged on up. It's a long way to go for Spiritbreaker. He's keeping vision, if anything, but Mason keeping his distance. Good job by Zero, putting the Centaur stomp out. However, the objective's going the way of Kookaburra, so they lost a couple of heroes, but with the double buyback, you could tell they know that was it. I mean, Troll popped his BKB Battle Trance. No. Without it, though, it's a different story.
Yeah, what can he do now? And the immediate recall, bringing Lifestealer back into the fight.
Chen's pretty good for that. Medusa might be in trouble. The big vacuum from Moomiander, though, and the split shot started to rain down now. Mason, Spirit Vessel's up. He's keeping his distance. He knows this is dangerous. He does not want to commit, as he probably would die at this point. So having to stay back. Exorcism also active, but again, I Annihilate the same boat. Can't really go in. They're going to use Fortification, but Mega Creeps are upon us in this game.
Yeah, and great halberd by Ritsu on the Troll, just completely nullifying Mason.
There we go again. He pops BKB, doesn't remove it, of course. This time's going to wear off, though. Now the beatdown on Medusa. Getting some damage in there. No battle trance for 14 more seconds, though, and that might cost him. He goes down. He has a buyback. Going to use it immediately. Dark Willow in the backlines. Bedlam active. Being a distraction. She will fall. Double kill for Bryle. Troll does have battle trance now. It just came back up. He's going to need to use it. He uses the right here. He gets disarmed, though. He's bashed up, and Mason is completely locked down in the midst of the battle trance. Triple kill, and the GGs are officially called. Kookaburra will take the game, and they move to 3-3, as Black Sheep will fall to 2-3.
Yep, that was just a pretty rough game for Black Sheep. I think that the focus on shutting down I Annihilate in that mid lane really proved to be a huge difference maker, because they had just zero tempo, zero space creation, and I believe that the bottom tier 1 tower was still up when that game ended.
Yeah, it might have been, actually. I didn't double check that, but that is, it's very possible. Then, yeah, just could not get the objectives. I think it really was the 1-4 strategy from Black Sheep there, and the tempo just could not have it. Just could not have it work. Death Prophet, again, you look at that lineup, and to me it screams the much more aggressive earlier on. I think the Grimstroke certainly did feel out of place, and maybe even more so Dark Willow. That also goes back to that, the second pick, Dark Willow.
Yeah, the support duo just wasn't really having any impact at all.
Mm-hmm. Well, either way, it's still a case of Black Sheep. I mean, they're still in it. It's 2-3 record. So certainly would need to win out to feel decent about having a chance at least. Kookaburra, hell, it's the same place for them. They're now 3-3. They'll have one more game to play, which, let's see who that is. They're going to be playing, oh yeah, that's right. They're going to be playing Complexity a couple of matches from now. And both of those teams are certainly going to be hungry for a win in that game. So that should be a really good one too. Are we going to be casting that one? No, we're not going to be covering that one. That'll be in the mainstream. But point is, going to be happening. Look forward to that result as well. As far as us at our stream, we got another exciting matchup. We have J-Storm. First time we're going to get the chance to cast them. Actually, maybe second time. No, it is the first time. But they're going up against Zalato, the full Mexican squad. But Zalato currently at 0-4 so far in the event. Make that 0-5, actually, which does mean they are officially out.
And they did lose their full Mexican squad status, actually. They actually have a Venezuelan in Raykill as their position 4. So maybe they lost a little bit of that superpower that was allowing them to almost qualify for these events earlier.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously cool to still see them qualify in the first place, but obviously the competition was rough here in the NA region. and hitting that brick wall. But hey, they got 2 more games to play. One of them against J-Storm, and that'll be the next one coming up. Well, that's certainly a team I expect still to be giving it their all and giving J-Storm a run for their money in the following game. Of course, it is important for J-Storm. They're 4-1. They feel pretty good, but the last thing they would want is a loss to a team like Zalato, which, frankly, they should beat. Well, we're going to find out next. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. I'm BreakyCPK, joined by Elevated. We got that game coming up for the TI9 North American Regional Qualifiers. We'll be back.